All right, guys, let's bring it back in. Let's bring it back in. Calm down.
No, it's all right.
You gotta look at it. The more we spend on tags, the less money we make per renewal.
I haven't seen anybody break one of those yet. That's what I was worried about.
Boston.
I was worried about it.
Tomorrow night.
I was worried about them breaking. I haven't seen a broken one yet. Of course, a lot of
What they want.
Oakland on starting on Saturday.
Okay.
I quit drinking sodas.
Okay.
$6.
I quit smoking.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But now I'm to the point of starting to lose it back.
I'll leave right.
It's not the nicotine that's the appetite, it's the additives in the cigarette that are actually.
There's your crown. See the bottle. You gotta wear the crown. Yeah.
Or they need graphics first. I like that.
I need to get video where I picked those baskets up. The one that put them down there a day or two earlier. My friend's garage.
You sound like a woman.
My wife has your days, but I need to get.
I feel like I'm staying before, start laying it out.
Two holes gonna be minis.
Man boobs or lung cancer.
Boobs or lung cancer?
So,
Second language.
sometime near the end of October.
Here we go, guys. 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
That was a good recess. I needed that. Okay, well, I have put together, as I said at the last meeting, a rough draft, the first draft of our bylaws that were never written by me, so all this is my fault. But anyway, I did some research. I already had a pretty good idea in my head of having been in a fraternity in college, had the experience of what it's all about, so it helped. I did research on the internet and have put together what I think is a good foundation for us to run the club. There are not procedures in here. The procedures such as how to run a tournament, what to do about certain aspects of the club, are things that will be written down by the committee chair people as we move through the next couple months. Procedures are things that can change more quickly. The bylaws are more of a permanent thing. We don't want to be going into the bylaws and rewriting stuff all the time. So, this is more of our permanent foundation for what we want to do. Okay, so we're going to go over them line by line. And if anybody has any question or comment, just simply raise your hand. I can't really see very well without my glasses on, but Troy, if you would please, if somebody raises their hand, please call on them. So I went to the USGA website, which is golf, not disc golf, since they have about 100 years more history in the game, and took their sample and put our disc golf organization into it and added a few things here and there. So Article 1, name. We must have an official name for the purpose of writing checks, taking notes, doing whatever it is we do. The name of this organization shall be the New Hanover Disc Golf Club. Now,
Bob.
yes, sir.
So, the legal name, when you set it up,
Yeah,
is New Hanover Disc Club.
I know that it's in the MOU.
So would you
like
want?
that.
So and I don't think it's a big deal either way. I just wanted to point that out that is the legal name. So I have no idea how hard is it, or do we want to even pursue changing the legal name? Is that something we
That's a
want to
good
do?
question.
Because that's what it says on the checks.
That's right. It's what it says on the checks, and that's also what it says in the MOU, which is our agreement with the county.
That's correct.
Um,
I started
It's-
calling it Disc Golf Club just because that's what we were. But I mean, it's totally up what the organization wants to do.
We were, I think, also falling in line with a lot of other clubs that were using that disc golf club tag. It seemed to make sense,
Right.
and it describes appropriately what we are. I think that as far as the checks go, that's not that big of an issue. We do have to renew the MOU with the county by certified letter coming up for the next year. It's a 2-year renewal, so before the end of this year, we have to sign that paperwork all over again, Dave. So we could go in at that point and change Disc Golf Club if we so wanted to.
Sure.
I like New Hanover Disc Golf Club. But once
Describes
again,
who we are.
it describes who we are. I don't know that it'll make, hopefully it won't make much of a difference in the business aspect of it. But is everybody okay currently with either? Doesn't
It's
matter.
not frisbee golf.
Start calling it crawl, somebody. Yeah.
Flying disc club.
You gotta figure that out.
I have a real problem with froth.
That's the worst name ever.
Okay, so Article 2.
We're not from this.
Purpose or mission statement. Something that may or may not have been there at the beginning. I honestly can't remember. It's been probably 12 or 13 years since our first meeting. But I'm pretty sure that what I've put in here is what we should be about. I think I've covered everything, but if anyone feels that it could be worded differently or there's something missing, we'll talk about it. So, Article 2, purpose. And these are, I tried to put these in order of ascension or descension. In other words, the first one is kind of the most important and it kind of goes down through there. It's tough to put them all in exactly the order they should be, but in general, number 1, to maintain a nonprofit volunteer organization for the purpose of promoting the sport of disc golf in and around New Hanover County, North Carolina. Pretty simple. Number 2, provide a safe environment for citizens to socialize and recreate. That has a lot to do with our patrolling of the course, keeping the course clean, no broken bottles, watching out for wild dogs running through there, a lot of things. Number 3, conduct tournaments where both amateurs and professionals may compete. We do that wonderfully. Conduct clinics for the introduction of the game to new players. We do that as well. Promote and contribute to charitable causes. And there's a little asterisk by that, which I'll probably take out, but that was one of the things that I felt like that we could add in if we weren't currently on that. I think it rounds out what we need to be thinking about. And then maintain and beautify the area disc golf courses, so it's inclusive of Arrowhead as well, or any other course that we have installed in New Hanover County in the future. Promote the general benefits of health through exercise, and of course teach good sportsmanship and positive social values. That was, I think that's probably what most disc golf clubs would like to say their purposes are. So if there's no objections, we'll move on to Article 3. Any comments or questions? And at any point in time, anyone can ask a question about anything we've already covered. Article 3, membership. Now I've got membership divided up into 3 sections: general membership, active status, and inactive status. General. Membership is open to all individuals for a one-time fee of $20. Number B. New members shall be issued a certificate of membership, a custom stamped disc, an official bag tag. They will also be assigned an official number and added to the website archives. Now, we haven't done a certificate of membership in a while. Originally, I was emailing out an official email that kind of had the club logo on it as something that someone could print off and be proud of and say, hey, I'm a member. That, you know, I'd like to see it in there. It doesn't have to be, but I think it would be nice.
Everything's going so paperless, man, it's almost pointless.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a waste of paper.
Point of order.
Yeah, the bag tag's good.
I'd like to see a club
Come back
patch.
to A.
Mm-hmm.
Membership is open to all.
Put on your denim jacket.
Well, if you're
Hold on a
fast,
second, guys.
yes.
Yeah.
We have Troy has the floor, please.
Are we gonna, in A, are we gonna have this as $20 as a lifetime membership, or at some time are we gonna be able to null and void a membership if the member is inactive for X amount of years?
We're going to cover that, actually. Good question.
Okay.
We're getting ready to get to that.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay. And, you know, I also started out putting down all our members on the website and keeping track of who they were, what type of job they did. I felt like it was important information to have. If our members are our network and our resources, then certainly we should have a place, a depository of this information that we can access. I don't know what the status is of that currently, other than that it's not on the website anymore.
That page is gone.
Okay.
Chad took it down.
I think it's important. I think that one thing the club probably has not done enough of, and certainly, I'll take the blame for this as well, I don't know. But our members need recognition that they have been and done stuff. It's one thing to be just totally anonymous and no one really know that, hey, we put that T-pad in, or hey, we did this, that, and the other, but I think that recognition of our hard work and our dedication is important. I mean, you guys are here out of your free time tonight, and you need to be, it needs to be let known to you that we appreciate it. And I think that keeping a simple list of all members on the website is an important thing. I think that we should seriously consider doing that, and I don't think that it's a very tough thing to do, actually. I think we just need to get the list together and put a page up on the website.
There is the spreadsheet that I sent you of just like all the basic details for members.
And I've got all that back there.
Okay, there is I don't know about as far as a group on Facebook. I believe so, but I believe there's a section where you can add files and documents. Now, obviously I wouldn't want to put everybody's phone number and address and email stuff like that, but I think maybe, just clipping some of that spreadsheet and adding it to a file, membership directory or something like that would be simple enough.
Put it on the website as well.
And the website.
All we gotta do is add a new page. I mean,
And the website, yeah.
It's nothing more than the desire to do it.
Yeah.
Once again, I don't think it was a bad thing that it wasn't done. It just was not a priority.
Just not
If it needs to be a
clear
priority moving forward, all we got to do is say,
Yeah.
let's do it. We don't have to worry about why it wasn't done. All we
Right.
have to do is say, let's do it in the future.
Someone willing to do it.
That's
Yeah,
exactly
well, I think
correct.
we have the resources for it, so I think
Absolutely.
Okay, so everyone's in agreement there, they like that. As far as the certificate goes, we're kind of on a question mark with that one. Patch. Okay. Article C.
Eagle Scout.
Eagle Scout.
Eagle member.
I've already got that one on you.
I'm becoming active, but come get your patch.
Yes. Put it on the bag. Put it on the
Yeah.
bag. That'd be rocking. That would.
How many room left?
Number C, new members are automatically deemed to have active status. We will define active status a little further down. Number D, membership is for the lifetime of the individual regardless of active/inactive status. So when you get a membership here, you're in for life. If someone needs to be removed from membership, that can be handled, and a few lines down we'll go into that. Number E, any club member seen or heard acting in any manner deemed unsatisfactory by the club may be held in review and have his or her membership status suspended by a majority vote of all members present at the meeting. Suspension, okay, let's stop right there for a second. So, if Troy's out there tearing down a tree on hole 8, and he thinks no one's looking because that tree got in his way, and 2 other club members see him doing that, then it's the responsibility of those club members to, if not at least approach Troy, to come to the meeting and say, we have an issue we need to talk about. And that's how it'll be handled. It will be brought up by a motion and debated. Did this person actually do something that is unseemly or is uncharacteristic of what we want to represent? If that is the case, then we will debate it, and if we decide that that person has done something really, really bad, then we go to number F. Suspension is a disciplinary action by the club to one or more members for inappropriate behavior. To present a motion of suspension, sufficient proof in the form of documentation and/or 2 or more witnesses must be present at a regular club meeting. So you can't come in here and just say, I saw something, even if you did. We need 2 people. We need a verification. Now that whole section right there, let me go ahead and finish out. A member that is under suspension assumes inactive status for the remainder of the fiscal year or until such suspension is lifted by a majority vote of the club. So suppose someone's accused of doing something, the club members think he did something, then they come to find out a month later, oops, our mistake, it was not the case. That person is going to be voted back in as an active member, and it'll be so noted in the minutes of what actually happened. And finally, a permanent removal of any club member must be unanimously voted on by a quorum of 10. Now, a quorum is a minimum number of people you have to have. And I've put in here that it must be unanimously voted on. So that means you've got to have at least 10 people at the meeting, and all of them have to vote to kick this person out. Now, if this person did something really, really horrible, it's not going to be a problem. Once again, in order to do something like this, there has to be sufficient evidence that something really, really bad was done that's smearing our name and making us look bad. I hope we never have to do anything like this, but it needs to be in the bylaws. Does anybody have any questions about the general membership statutes? Okay. Now let's move into active status. Active status membership includes the right to fully participate in all club meetings for one fiscal year. And our fiscal year I'm defining as January 1st through December 31st. Active members are required to attend at least 9 of the 12 monthly club meetings. Now that number 9, I don't know, maybe it's 7.
Can you read that one more time, boss?
Active members are required to attend at least 9 of the 12 monthly meetings. If you want to be an active member and you want to be able to vote on things, you must attend a minimum number of meetings. Now, we've had issues in the past where someone would show up for 2 meetings, and then a whole lot of stuff would happen, and they wouldn't show up for 4 meetings. Then they'd show up at the end of the year and want to stick their 2 cents in. And it always caused problems. Well, this is key to eliminating that issue. If you're showing up for 9 or 8 or whatever the number is we choose, then what you're saying counts. Okay? If you only show up for the first 3 meetings and then you go into inactive status, you can show up and participate in the debate and the discussion, and you can put your 2 cents in, but you can't vote. If you want to vote, you can pay your $10 and re-up, or you can appeal. Let's move on.
Wait. I've got a question. Go ahead, Troy. You're first.
Please, go ahead, Dave.
So is your active status based on the prior year's attendance?
Your active status is based on...
So if it's May, and most people have only attended 5 meetings, so is your active status going to be based on your prior?
No, it's 1 fiscal year. Active membership includes the right to fully participate in all club meetings for 1 fiscal year. So if you join the club in February, you need to attend 9 out of the 12 meetings.
Before you can.
So that means that you won't be able to vote on anything until, so
No.
if you joined in February, you would not be able to vote until December.
You're instantaneously active for 3 months. Anybody who joined tonight now has 3 months of activity. You can miss next month's meeting. You can miss the next month's meeting after that. You can come to the 3rd meeting and vote. But if you miss the 4th meeting, then you're inactive. You get 3 months when you join or re-up. 3 months that you're automatically deemed active. I'm sorry, does that answer your
I'm still
question?
super confused. So, okay, so if I join the club in January, I get to vote January, February, and March. But then I won't be able to vote again until I make my 9th meeting.
Nope.
No,
So
if you
it's
don't
a-
show up for the next 3 months.
It's an attendance policy.
What you're saying, so you have to attend 9 meetings to vote. So if I join in January, I go to January, February, March, I've only attended 3 meetings.
That's right.
So if I'm there my 4th month, I haven't attended. You're saying 9 months is the minimum requirement to vote.
I'm saying you
No,
can't
no, no,
miss
no,
more
no,
than...
you-
Not on Jeff. What I'm saying is you can't miss more than 3 meetings.
Right.
Does that make sense now?
Once you're a member, you get to vote,
Right.
he's saying.
Right.
And then if you go 7 months and you make every meeting, then you miss 3 in a row.
Right.
You don't get to vote on that 11th meeting.
Gotcha.
But if you miss 2 and then you show up for the 10th meeting, you're still an active member and you still get to vote.
Gotcha. Okay.
It should be rewritten then. Instead of 9/12, it should say missed 3 consecutive or something like that.
Yeah.
Get rid of that 9.
I'm inactive, so I can't.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be consecutive. If you miss 2
What's that?
and then you miss 1 2 months later and there's still 4 months left in the year and you've already missed 3
There
meetings.
should be some incentive to show up.
I agree, I agree.
Well, hold on a second, guys, hold on a second. Let's not get too far out here.
I'm way inactive.
If you guys believe that the wording of it to say that you're allowed 3 absences within 1 fiscal year, if that makes more sense to you guys, then I can reword that. Is that?
I like the
Matt,
rule,
is that-
just need to reword it, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, do we need to be that stringent?
I don't think it should be that strict.
Yeah, how
I
about,
don't, I don't.
I'm inactive currently, so I can't say anything.
I work nights.
I'm inactive, so I can't
how
say
about
anything.
2/3?
Well, I think
of the
maybe,
meeting.
well, we could even look at half.
Yeah, that's a little, at least half, maybe. I work nights a lot. I'm lucky to be here tonight. Like, I work a lot of nights.
Once every 2 months. Maybe it could be a rolling average too.
Well, I mean, if you miss 3 consecutive meetings in a row, all right, you're inactive. But, and let's say you miss 6 overall, now you're inactive for a year.
Okay,
I like something like that.
can I have order, please? Can I have order, please? There's 3 conversations going on here right now. I want 1. And we're not going to continue till we have order.
Stand up and tell the guys in the hall to shut up then.
Now, let me finish reading through the active status requirements, and then we'll go back and address the questions. I know it's confusing to some guys. That's fine. I thought it might be. So we're going to possibly rewrite number B to we're going to allow X number of absences per fiscal year. We don't know what that number is yet. C, active members are required to hold an office or join at least 1 committee.
Required.
Yes, required.
Required? I mean, do we have that, do you have that many committees and offices? If we have, how many members, I don't have any idea how many members you actually have right now. Like what?
Right now, we probably have however many active members. I don't know what that
We
number
have
is.
65 total members.
Say 65 guys. I mean,
Not all
are
60.
over half of those suspended on inactive status because they haven't been come to meetings?
Right. That's their choice, though. You know, if you want to participate in what we're going to be doing, you've got to put up a certain level of
Yeah,
commitment.
yeah. I understand that. Yeah, I get that.
Okay. And I'm not trying. I mean, ask away if you're confused. Look, being on a committee is not that big of a deal. I mean, we're going to get to the committees and their responsibilities later on down the line, but I just don't think that you should be able to be a voting member and not have any responsibilities. Even if it's the most minimal responsibility, it is a show of your commitment to what we are trying to do. You know, that's how I feel about it. I feel like if we don't have, I'll get you in a second, Dave, if we don't have something to say, hey man, you've got to participate, then we end up with what we've had for the last few years, which is people that aren't really involved, showing up, trying to say, let's do this, let's do that, and then you don't hear from them another 3 months. This is a safeguard against that, and that's all it is, Matt.
And I understand that. I agree with like the participation thing, like so many and you're inactive can't vote. But some guys, you know, have a job or 2 jobs and a family and 3 kids, and I think just showing up, that percentage is showing they have a commitment, and we should at least listen to them. They should be able to vote. You shouldn't force them to be like, okay, if you ain't got more time to give us, then we don't want you to vote. Or I think that's going a little far.
Now, how much time do you think I'm asking for? I mean, how
Well,
many hours
I
per
don't-
month
I don't
do
know.
you play disc golf?
I'm not enough. I'm lucky to play.
I'm not attacking you.
I'm lucky to play once a week. If my
Yeah.
job don't get Sunday on our club thing, the other club, that's about all I get, and
Yeah.
I end up having to work sometimes on that. So I'm lucky to get once a week.
Yeah.
With my job and school, I go to school full time. And now
Well,
you
I
say if I'm
understand
active, I
that.
have to do a committee too. I'm like, Jesus, I'm going to school full time. I have a job.
Yeah. Well, you know, and I'm not, believe me, don't take this the wrong way, but if your life is that full, then maybe you should consider not being active. And your show of your support should simply be that, hey, I'm going to re-up every year and get my bag tagged and give them $10, or I'm going to come out and play the monthlies. There's an infinite number of ways to support the club, and you don't have to be a member, and you don't have to be active, but I feel strongly that if we don't require at least some participation from everybody, we can work out the details. that we will end up with a situation where you just don't have anything invested, so why even show up at all? You know, maybe I'll show up for elections, you know, that's a big deal, but, you know, and so it's up to every individual to work out just how much time they actually can give to what we're trying to do here. But I'll go back to what I said a second ago, you know, a lot of us spend X amount of hours playing disc golf, and what I'm asking for is 1 or 2 hours a month for this meeting, and then maybe another 1 or 2 hours a month for you to fulfill some obligation. If you're on the tournament committee, that means maybe you show up and help G count scores at the end of the day. It's not like you're going to have a lot of heavy responsibility. That's might have made you feel like, oh my God, he wants us to do all, hold an office. Ugh, you know, it's not that at all. There's different levels of participation, and I want everyone here to only take on what they feel they can. And you really help me hit this point home. I don't want to force anyone in here to you know, I'm not going to make you the treasurer if you're not a numbers guy, or you don't. I'm not going to force you into that. So I only want people to participate to the level at which they feel they can do so, but I do feel like there must be a minimum level of participation. I know I talked to you all.
No, I understand what you're saying. If everybody feels that way, I'm fine with it. I'm hoping, I want to be on a committee, like that Airhead thing. I'd like to donate some time and all. But I'm just saying, there might be other people who can't, and I still would like to hear their 2 cents and their vote and stuff. You know?
Dave.
So are we going to, do you want to run through this item by item and then we're going to vote on it?
I don't know. I mean, we're having some roadblocks right now that I think needs to be rewritten.
Absolutely. My only point is that I love this. I love us making this movement to this organization. But you use the word "I" several times in your argument, and I want this to be a club of the members. So I think that certain situations like what we're talking about now, it seems like there's some other opinions out there. I would like to discuss that and then maybe come to a vote. It's just my suggestion. So that's just.
Well, I have said "I," and it's because that's how I feel.
Yeah, you wrote it.
Just
That gives you the absolutely.
Yeah, this is not written in stone.
Gotcha.
It's a really good step.
Yeah, but this is, you know,
It's a very good start.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, now,
Absolutely.
I would like to play the devil's advocate here.
Again?
Go ahead.
All right. Someone pays their $20. Okay, you're a member of the club. Let's say they take an inactive status. They don't want to come to meetings every meeting. They want to just come every now and again. Well, they paid money, and once they paid money, they expect to have a voice in the club, and they're going to expect to have a voice in the club. So how do we handle it?
Well, it seemed like from what I.
Jeff, I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
didn't cut you off. I'm going to jump ahead real quick to inactive status. Okay, number 3, letter B. Inactive members may still attend and participate in club meetings. We do want to hear what you have to say. But if you're not going to stay current with what we're doing, then you're going to lose your right to vote at some point.
Good answer.
Okay?
Great answer.
But once you become a member brand new like myself, I just paid my money. I'm active status
Yes.
until I miss 3 meetings in a
That's
row,
right, yeah.
or decide and say, hey, look, I don't want to be an active
That's
member.
right.
So once you pay your $20, you're an active member until you miss 3 meetings or 4 meetings or
You try it
whatever
out,
we.
yeah. You try it out for 3 months. If you're not down with what we're doing, no one's going to. If you come to me and say, Mike, I haven't got time. I'm sorry. I can't be the tournament committee chairman. I'm not going to have a problem with that. I would rather you come to me and say, I got to step down, than keep doing it because you feel like you have to, or because it's a chore. I only want people here who want to do these things. I'm not forcing anybody to do anything. These bylaws are not forcing anybody to do anything. You do not have, you can participate at whatever level you choose. But if you want to be a voting member, we've got to have some sort of stipulations about that. Okay, I'm going to move on. Let's flip the page to D. Yearly dues of $10 are required to maintain uninterrupted active status. Each renewal receives 1 current club bag tag for the new year. Pretty straightforward.
I have a question.
Yes.
I know that's very straightforward. We're going through we have the same question we're dealing with right now. Okay, 4 of us just paid $20. That gives us like a little over 2 months, almost 3 months. So you get new bag tags in January, so we gotta re-up and 10 more bucks in January. Is that how y'all are gonna roll with that? Is that
Well, now, that's a good question.
Yeah, see, we've had that
We,
problem.
we have, I think in the past, and I'm not sure, Dave, maybe you can help me, people who have signed up perhaps in October or November, because it was so late in the year, have we let people sort of go into the new year 14 and consider that, or have we basically asked them to re-up again?
We've never had the situation come up.
It's only $10.
Yeah, it's only $10.
I joined 6 years ago in mid-October, and I think mine carried over to the next year.
Yeah, I'd say after a certain date, it maybe carried
That's what
over.
the PDGA does.
I've been saying prorated was my thing. Like say, okay, if you join in 3 months or less, $5. That's what I was suggesting.
What's today's date?
October 9th.
On October 10th and after.
Just over the wire.
Winning
I mean, for these guys,
people.
But that is an issue. We've been having the same question, so I was.
Yeah, but you can't do that when you're giving out a disc and a bag tag to a new member. They probably need to
we
still
could
be
do
paid.
10. No, we could do prorated at 10, and we couldn't do 5.
Yeah, I mean,
That's just a
I
question.
see-
Good idea.
You know, I understand what you're saying.
PDJ, if you renew after October 1st, it carries the new year. I mean, we can do
That's
something
what I
like that.
I think
Set a date.
PDGA November 1st, is that what it is?
October 1st.
It is October 1st?
I believe so.
Well, I don't know how much y'all's tags cost, but usually they're like $5. No, I mean to get them made. I
No,
mean,
no,
to have
no.
them
They're
made.
a dollar and change, man.
Yeah.
Buck and change.
So if you prorate like $5, even that at least covers the cost of the club, and like it ain't a whole $10.
If for a new membership, it would have to be 10 because we have the cost of the disc.
Yeah,
But for
yeah.
a renewal,
Yeah.
$5 would be.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's why I was going with the
Absolutely.
prorate thing. That's what I always.
So
did
you're
mine.
saying if you wanted to renew later in the year, like after October 1st, for example,
Yeah,
it
if
would
you-
only be a $5 renewal?
Like, if you just joined, like say we set a date, like say 3 months or
I would
less.
say renewal.
I would see.
Don't
When you renew,
Don't renew
in
in
January for the
October.
new, you're just getting a new tag.
If you're gonna renew
Then
in
maybe
the
prorate for those guys who just joined and they're just coming in, and you go, okay, now we need $10 more. 2
I would
months
think
later.
the opposite. Yeah, I think it would be new memberships.
Yeah,
New
Yeah.
memberships
Yeah.
prorate.
Yeah.
Renewal is just you renew in October, you
Yeah.
still got to renew in.
yeah. Well, they wouldn't renew in October, right? You would renew in
Well, you wouldn't think so. I mean, if you're gonna renew in October, you must
Well,
just
yeah,
wait.
you didn't renew in January.
every January.
Anybody need me to give them $5? I mean,
Yeah, I should have said that's just confusing,
Yes,
Before you lose track of that thought, I would lock down that date.
October 1st or whatever the date
And
is.
yes.
Look, there's two sides of this coin, and I see what
Yes.
you're saying. On the other hand, it is only $10, so
That's
it
right.
really,
And
so, I mean, you guys tell me, I'll tell you how I feel, I'll give you my opinion. I don't think we should worry about prorating it, but that's only me, and whatever you guys, I mean, give me some
I agree
feedback.
with you.
okay, well that's the same thing some guy said in our club. But I said, okay, so now you got a guy in December who was thinking about joining, and as soon as he hears the first thing, I said, so then you need $10 more in
Yeah,
January.
just
Wait till January.
Just wait till
And
January to
then you
get
may
the new
never,
tag.
that guy may not.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're
the
right.
The new
you
club
might
members
lose
lose that
bucks. Yeah, you might walk away. You might not see
Okay.
that.
That's why
Okay.
you set a date like the PDGA.
price
I mean,
thing. Yeah.
the PDGA has been doing after October 1st for years. I mean, it's obviously working. Might as well.
It's one time for one person, you know?
That's when I joined
Yeah,
PDGA
they
in
do.
mid-October, and it rolled right over to the next year. It was
So-
$25.
Yeah, but each tag has a new year on it, so it's
That's why I was saying prorate.
tags
At least covers
run
the tag
January.
cost.
You know, I mean, the thing
Well, I
is,
mean, one, I mean, you got
you're gonna
tags
get-
already.
you're gonna get your
They're already
tag,
printed.
it's part of the
2014?
$20.
Well, no, I mean, if you join in October,
What do you say?
Yeah,
So
but in January,
yeah, well, you'll get a new
Yeah.
tag when you get
I
the
think
tag.
prorating is too confusing. You probably
I
set a
agree.
cutoff
Yeah, you're
date,
probably
$20, boom.
yeah.
It is two different designs, you know, you're gonna have 3 months with this tag, and then the next year, you gotta get a new tag.
That's right.
It's $10 to the club.
Yeah, yeah.
So are we okay with the way it
And
sits right
Brett's
now?
done it $5 there about
Yeah, and Brett, we're getting $5 from Brett.
It's talking about $5, okay. Thank you, that's okay. No problem.
So come on back.
Alright, so let's move on. Number E, that I read earlier. An inactive member that is not on suspension may renew active status at any time for a fee of $10. That kind of, the member will receive one club bag tag for the year. So that just means like if you didn't re-up at the beginning of the year and you want to come in June, you get $10 in your back. You pay $10 and you get your back tax. It's how we currently operate.
How about if I miss 3 meetings,
Yes.
become inactive, can I pay $10?
And vote?
Become inactive and vote?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
But he's got a good point. I think we need to create a new term. I think we need to have somebody who is. I think there needs to be a current membership, which would be the $10 possibly, and then an active membership, which would be paying your $10 and attending meetings. So you probably want to create a new term there
Yeah.
to have current and active at the same time.
Yeah,
It's possible. That's one. I mean, we're talking semantics, but I mean that's one way to work.
Hold on just a second. Let me go back to that.
This won't be.
I was getting a little
Because
confused.
I thought the same thing you did. I'm like, well, I'll just wait.
And
till the voting's
I
happening.
agree with you here on the, if you miss 3 months and you're inactive, if you wanna pay $10 to the club,
That's a revenue generator right there.
yeah, exactly.
sure is.
Take that cash, man.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So gee, every month, so $10.
Let's go through the inactive status and see if it helps the situation. There is a couple things in there about it. Inactive status, letter A. Inactive status means a club member does not have the right to vote or introduce motions at club meetings. B, inactive members may still attend and participate up to that level. We want your opinions, we want you there. So, number E, after 3 club meeting absences, a member is automatically deemed inactive and must appeal his or her status to the club. The club may then take a majority vote on whether to reinstate active status. So, look, let's say you miss 3 meetings because work happened, the car broke down, and something happened with your family. You come to that 4th meeting and you have an excuse, a valid excuse. This is why I missed the last 3 meetings. I've been watching Facebook, keeping up with stuff that I couldn't make the doggone meetings. I want to reapply. Can we put me back in? The club will then look at your situation and more than likely vote you right back into active status.
It would probably be good to maybe suggest letting you know in advance if it's possible. Say, hey, look, Mike, I'm not going to be able to make this meeting, to show that you're making that effort. You know.
Right, that should be some stipulation in there. You can't just miss 3 meetings and then come up and show up, oh yeah, well my dad died, my grandma has cancer,
Well, yeah,
let
because most
me just
likely
say-
you're not going to know something like that.
Yeah, let me just say that we don't want to get, I don't know if we want to go that deep with it. The club, look, if you're a shady character and you're showing up to meetings and you're just making problems and all that, the club is going to,
Damn it, I'm out already.
kind of know something's going on here. I mean, and look, it is, we're all friends, everybody here. I don't think anyone's going to try to deceive the club for any sort of nefarious reasons. So I think we probably should proceed forward as much on trust as we can. But nonetheless, it is a good point.
Well, where it says must appeal, I put can appeal. It's not
Okay,
a
that's a
must
good
thing.
idea.
You don't have to.
Can appeal, that's a good word change there. So, please, definitely take, I think I covered most of what we talked about in the membership section. Although some of it's in different sections, I think we got it. Please go home and dissect it and get your red ink pen out and intelligently make some suggestions or corrections for us at the next meeting. Actually, we're probably going to need the information before then. Let's move on. We'll cover that in a second.